pretty storied brand in VS.
Well, right. I mean, I think this shift is coming not a moment too soon. There are a couple of big, I mean, first of all, I went back and looked at the numbers from the last quarter on Victoria's Secret performance, and there's really a downward spiral going on there. It's even worse than I think I had realized, the deterioration there. And, you know, you've got a big consumer brand like that. They've got to stop that quickly. But beyond that, as we wrote in the piece in the Times, the culture here needs a complete revamping. I mean, considering that it's a company that is, the customers are overwhelmingly female women, the way that women executives and workers there were treated over the years is pretty appalling. And I think there really does. And by the way, we heard from board members, independent board members, who put out a statement for the article, and I believe them. I think they really are committed to trying to do something dramatic there. And one step which we saw this week is they've gotten rid of the Wexner cronies on the board.
Now, in terms of operating models, I mean, legacy models, you think it's mostly about the mall and physical distribution, or was it about athleisure, some sort of fashion cycle that really brought about the decline?
I think it's a lot of it is more the latter, and that does, I think, suggest there's an opportunity for a private equity owner here. Because I think the whole image, the whole branding, the whole marketing was, looking back on it now, was basically a male fantasy of what women should look like. Too bad we don't have Sarah here today.
To keep us honest.
We don't need an all-male panel here. But some of my women colleagues of mine at the Times led me through some alternatives to Victoria's Secret and other brands. And it's astonishing, the different marketing approach, the diversity of the models, the embrace of different body types, different ethnicities, the recognition that beauty comes in many different varieties, not this sort of rigid image, which is basically very difficult even for, you know, very young women to achieve. But when I looked at the site for the first time a while ago, it was, the women may have been different races and things, but they were indistinguishable. They all looked like they were about 16 or something, and, you know, unbelievably slender. So it was a very certain type, and, you know, the world just isn't that way. And I think they have to dramatically address that issue and abandon this, you know, kind of, frankly, decades-old image of what women should look like.
Sorry, I was going to say. So if you address culture, and you address product, and you address marketing, what's on the checklist? Well,
then you've got to deal with the broad issues of facing retail. But at least from talking to women, I think that's something where Victoria's Secret may have an advantage. That there are a lot of women who feel the need to actually try these things on, to go into the stores. I'm also told that the technology of making these things is quite complicated, and that there is room maybe for additional innovation there. So I think there's a lot of upside there. They are still going to face the broad issue of the retail environment, and which, by the way, what's left, you know, the publicly traded L brands, the bath and body product, that is, I think, is more vulnerable to the broader problems facing retail. I mean, they've got solid numbers there, which are, you know, impressive, but they're not off the charts, the growth story there. It's a relatively mature business. I'm not wildly excited about that. I'll be very curious to see what kind of multiple the market puts on the remaining part of L brands.